Bernie Sanders believes that Democrats got their asses handed to them because they simply abandoned the working class. And that's absolutely true. You have Hillary Clinton abandoning the working class in favor of big moneyed interests. And he said that if they do not move away from this overemphasis on identity politics, they're going to continue to lose. Specifically, he states, here's my point, and this is where there's going to be a division within the Democratic Party. It is not good enough for somebody to say, I'm a woman, vote for me. No, that's not good enough. What we need is a woman who has the guts to stand up to Wall Street, to the insurance companies, to the drug companies, to the fossil fuel industry. In other words, one of the struggles that you're going to be seeing in the Democratic Party is whether we go beyond identity politics. I think it's a step forward in America if you have an African-American CEO of some major corporation. But you know what? If that guy is going to be shipping jobs out of this country and exploiting his workers, it doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot whether he's black, white, or Latino. I couldn't have said that better myself. I agree with him wholeheartedly here. And I fear that because it's coming from a white male, many people who do overemphasize identity politics will not be very receptive to that message. And that's something that I think is really frustrating, right? Because if there's truth to what someone says, who cares who's delivering the message, you know? So it is frustrating that I don't think that this message will resonate with a lot of Democratic voters, particularly Hillary Clinton supporters, but it needs to be said. And I think that this can be summed up by a meme I saw. I wish I saved it, but there is a meme of a little girl in Syria, and the words said, little girls around the world will be so inspired knowing that a woman will be dropping bombs on them instead of a man. That is a summary of this election cycle and what Democrats tried to do. You know, they wanted continuity on the inside, change on the outside. So they wanted a woman to be president, but they didn't really want to change their policies to actually favor the working class, and that was their downfall. And what many people miss is that representation, you know, it comes in various shapes and sizes. So for example, there's a difference between descriptive and substantive representation. Descriptive representation, for example, is just getting actual demographics in Congress that are representative of the United States and how it looks. So we need 50% women in the Senate, for example. That's important. But what's more important is substantive representation. And that's just representing the interests of those demographics of groups that are disadvantaged. So even if it's the case that we don't have descriptive representation, we can still have substantive representation. And that's what we need in this country. So the fact that we have a more diverse Congress or get more women to participate in government, I think that that's inherently beneficial and it's something I'm in favor of. But if those people are going to get in office and hurt women, then what's the point in voting for them? I mean, for example, if you disagree with this argument, would you vote for Sarah Palin? Do you think she would honestly advance the cause of women's rights? Do you think she would allow women to make decisions as to what they can do with their own body? No. Would you vote for Carly Fiorina? No. So the fact that someone has a D in front of their name doesn't just give them a blank check in terms of us allowing them to do what they want. We have to hold their feet to the fire regardless if they're a man, woman, I don't care what, right? So the thing that frustrates me is that feminism is about equality. So the fact that we did hold Hillary Clinton's feet to the fire and criticized her for substantive reasons, I think that's a good thing. We didn't go easy on her because she's a woman, because that would be sexist. We went hard on Hillary Clinton and treated her like everyone else. Now, yes, there were some unfair smears against Hillary Clinton. For one, many people critiqued her for yelling when she spoke. And I disagree with that argument. I think it's unfair because you don't see many men being criticized for that argument. But when you just look at it from a policy perspective, that's where Democrats disagreed with Hillary Clinton. And many people are trying to smear Bernie Sanders as a sexist simply because he ran against Hillary Clinton. No, that's not the way this works. And look, for me, as someone from a disadvantaged group, I'm a member of the LGBT community, would I love to see a gay president? Absolutely. But would I vote for someone that didn't have the correct policies? No. No, I would not. And in fact, I would vocally advocate against voting for them because you have to really go beyond this superficial appeal to someone's identity. It's more than that. Go beyond that. And the fact that we even have to come out and say this, the fact that Bernie Sanders has to make this statement is ridiculous and shows how much of a plague the social justice warrior movement has been on the Democratic Party. It's unacceptable. So yes, we need to move away from identity politics. It has its place, right? We don't have to disregard it entirely. And yes, we absolutely should fight and advocate for descriptive representation to get more women in office, to get more African American and people of color in office. But that's not everything. If you don't have the policies, you shouldn't be in office. That's basically what it comes down to.